Well, thank you so much, Gunnar, for making the time. I've been really looking forward to getting to know you.
Let's go. What do you got? I'm wide open. I'm a book.
Well, you're sort of a legend in fitness, right? I mean, you...
Stop.
It's
Stop.
true, though. Not only that, and I'll tell you the real reason why I'm so excited to meet you. Everybody that has introduced me to you has nothing but the nicest things to say about you. Generous, kind, thoughtful, everything.
Nice to hear. Nice to hear. You go out of your way to try to do the right thing, right? And over time, hopefully it comes back. But if it doesn't, you did the right thing anyway.
Yeah. And I guess that's what they say is, I think as definitely a positive, but they say the only thing they can say negative about you is that you care too much and you give so much to other people, which I think is definitely one of the best things.
You must have spoken to my wife. She goes, you're too generous. You shouldn't. And I said, if that's what you put on my epitaph, I can live with that or die with that.
That's awesome. And how much of that translates to your work now? I mean, you've reached such a level of success. I hear you just signed on with the Los Angeles Lakers as well.
I did. Last year I signed on with the Lakers, and it's a different structure to my day. I still get here early and I do a block here, and then I'm down at the Lakers and I come back and I do a block in the late afternoon, early evening here. It's a new chapter. Let's look at it that way. Let's look at the positive. There are a lot of people out there from Dwayne Johnson, Khloe Kardashian, LL Cool J, who have multiple jobs. It comes down to structure and work ethic, and if they can do it, I go, why can't I? And so I'll take the challenge, and I'll try to put my day together in a way that I don't sacrifice my family too much. I don't sacrifice my wife too much. I don't sacrifice my bread and butter, which is my gym here, and I can still give everything and more that the Lakers need there.
So is it more passion or more drive, or an equal amount of both?
Passion or what?
Passion or drive?
I'd say it's a fair mix between the two. Between passion and drive, it's a fair mix. But some days it's probably more passion, some days it's probably more drive, some days it's probably more necessity, some days it's probably more self-flagellation. You could do more, get out there and do this push, I'll look and I'll see, two more people want to train that day, and I go, oh, I've already got that many. Could I add two? Is that too much? And I go, do it. And it's little games you play with yourself, If you're in business, I'm sure it's the same way. Can I add that extra meeting? I have all those meetings during the day. Can I add the dinner meeting? Can I take the breakfast meeting? Should I push? Should I put it off? And I find myself not saying no as often maybe as I should, but definitely not very often.
I love that. So, let's talk about this a little bit. I had a wonderful conversation with your client, Will, earlier, and the discussion about I feel like getting healthy and talking about fitness, it affects all aspects of your life. And especially someone like yourself. You're an entrepreneur, you're a father, you're a husband, and you have all these clients to care for. So everything comes down to structure for you. How has that structure in terms of fitness affected other aspects of your life?
It puts it all together. First of all, if there's any anxiety about things I haven't done or things I need to do, if I haven't worked out, I know if I get the workout done, there's something about feeling right within your own body. There's something about the circulation that improves the thought processes and mental acuity that I go, oh wait, I can handle that. I'm able to put it all together in my mind. And sometimes I take notes on my phone. And then when I'm done with the workout, I can execute. If I'm doing cardio, if I'm on the bike in the morning, and I do a series of seated, standing. When I'm seated, I'll write down, call this person, send this text, order this, cancel that, whatever it is. And then when I'm done with that, I have it laid out. Usually I've done it the night before, but as random thoughts come in, and I encourage people when they're doing their workout, have a way to take a note for yourself. Because things pop up in your head. Oh, I forgot I got to pick up Q-tips today when I go home. And if you wait, it's going to be as you pull in your driveway that you remember that. But if you just write it down, it's easy. And it doesn't mean pen and paper can be on the phone. But I think having that structure for me makes me use my time better, which is the key to doing a number of different things, right? I think Dwayne Johnson and Khloe know their schedules, in X amount of days or months in advance, so that things just get done and you can check them off, and you can invest in them when you're in them, right? If I didn't have my schedule that I was seeing you today, I would have just rolled in and whatever, and hey, what time, but knowing it, block it out, and then you do it, and you're not sitting there anxious about what's coming next because you've made the time for it. It's a lot like booking the clients, right? You have this person at 9, this person at 10, this person at 11. I know between 9 and 12, I'm unavailable. Easy.
Yeah. Oh, great suggestions. Well, that's another thing that I often talk about, the correlation between good fitness habits and good financial habits, because I always think they often go hand in hand. I think, I talk to clients all the time and they say, well, when most of your clients are very, very wealthy, how do I get to that point? And you say, well, they didn't start off and they weren't born wealthy, most of them. Some of them were, but many of them had to build that wealth over 10, 20, 30
Most
years,
of them,
right?
from the ones I know, for sure.
Right, yeah, and many of your clients, very, very well-known clients, built to where they need to. I mean, we talked about Jennifer Lopez, and those of you who know her history know she had to work, for every step that she's accomplished.
Beyond.
Right?
And the people that I see on a day-to-day, the way they work, the way they have worked to get where they are, it's admirable. Sure, a lot of people out there working hard, but these people were working smart, and they were very goal-oriented, short-term and long-term goals. And I think it's important to establish a difference between the two. Where do you want to be next year? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? And when do you see yourself retiring?
I love that. So working smart. I think we should talk about that a little bit, because, and you said that several times already, I think it's just being very mindful of your time in the most efficient manner.
It's the only commodity you can't replace is time, right? You can make more money, you can go buy more hair, you can essentially buy a new body, but you cannot make more time. So if you're wasting it, if you're not using it in a way that when you look back you feel like you spent it wisely, I think you should make different choices, and I think you should make them tomorrow. Don't wait.
So your favorite part of what you do?
Is watching people catch it, watching people get that they can fill in the blank, whatever that is. When Will started training, his schedule, and I'm sure if he didn't tell you, I'm not letting the cat out of the bag here, but it was all over the place. And it could be, I'm going home tonight to do nothing, and then he'd get a call, and then he was out late. Or he was going to go home and clean up and go meet people, and then something fell through, and then he ended up being in, and maybe that bummed him out, and he might do something bad on the nutrition side. I don't know, but I'm saying he didn't have the structure. And when he got this, he became, then the first, I don't know if you saw the show, but the first bit of Will's journey, was not pretty. And there were a lot of ups and downs, and then for whatever reason, whether it was the consistency of the environment that I try to provide here, or I don't know what it was, but he took it seriously. And when that happened, everything fell into place. His body, his mindset, his love life, his work life, everything just went and got in line. And I'm not saying it's easy or it's magical or it happens overnight, but you start laying the bricks, and before you know it, you've built something.
Well, Gunnar, let's talk about that a little bit. I know you work with the who's of entertainment, and we're not going to go there, but do you find that people who achieve a certain amount of success, especially your clients, they have sort of some similarities and qualities, if you will, in terms of like having the same amount of discipline or same amount of lifestyle, that they push themselves and expect more of themselves? Do you find that to be the case? I
do. I find that the people I work with who have achieved in their chosen fields have a certain structure and a certain intensity. But I think before that, maybe it was dormant in me. My parents have that, and my brother have that, and they're hardworking, they're goal-oriented, they don't take no for an answer, not from someone else and not from themselves. And they just don't, here's my double negative for the day, they don't not do. They just do it, whatever it is, and they are, my brother's in business, and if he has to go to a meeting in Australia and then he has to leave and go to a meeting in Canada, he just goes, and he doesn't say, I can't make that, or I'm going to be too tired. He just goes, I'm there, and he goes, and that's why he exceeds. Well, my father was the same back in the day, and my mom is exactly the same. And someone says, I don't know if you can do that, or she says, I've made a commitment to that, I'm going to do that. She wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro on her 70th, bam, she climbed it. Wow. It was not in the cards that she was not going to do it. So I see that from my family. I think I'm drawn to that. The people I work with, the people who cancel all the time, or the people who phone it in, ultimately they're not going to probably be on my schedule. It's probably not a good fit, right? It's not a good marriage, because I don't want to find myself phoning it in or thinking it's okay to not be there 100% for them. So I want the people who want to work. So how do you choose? How do you choose? How do you decide? It must be like a velvet rope. It's not. I try to let everyone come through that I can manage to get on a schedule. And then the people who are driven, the people who are, like trainers say, I'm a great motivator. What are you saying actually that's motivating someone who is making 20 million a picture or 20 million a season if it's an athlete, and their face is going to be all over town, and there's going to have everything they do is feeding into a legacy, good or bad, that's going to be out about them in 20 years. What is it that you're saying that's getting them to do something that those things are not motivating them to do? Probably nothing. I think as the trainer, you motivate maybe indirectly by their knowing that you're committed, they're knowing that you're locked in, they're knowing that you're providing an environment that is stable. You know, this is the eye inside the hurricane that is Los Angeles.
Wonderful. Well, best advice you ever got in business? Maybe you could share that with us.
The best advice I ever got in business was from my dad, who was a world-class businessman, retired when he was 50. My dad said to me, I had an idea, you know, fresh out of college, an idea on something that was going to make me a ton of money, and I'd have the car and the house, and I'd retire when I was 25 or whatever it was. And my dad said, run the numbers. I said, but Dad, it works. And he goes, run the numbers. He said, run the numbers. They may not be pretty, but they will never lie. And it was hard because I ran the numbers and I ran them again, and I tried to skew them, and I tried to look at them this way, and I tried to prop them up. It wasn't going to ever pan out. The ceiling that I thought was here was in fact here. And that was if everything were firing on all cylinders. In fact, it was probably here. And that's, and I don't always abide by that, by the way. I still sometimes go in, you know, right out of the gate. I just push.
Without running the numbers.
Yeah, without running the numbers, or I run them quickly in my head and I go, oh, that'll work. And I kind of sand down the edges. But when you run them, good or bad, they don't lie.
Right. So what's in the future for you? What can we look forward to from you, Gunnar?
Well, what's in the future? We have a couple TV projects in the works. We'll see. I have to be able to get the right message out about fitness and training and health and overall wellness. If I can, and that works and that translates to television, great. And if it doesn't, then we'll see what we can do online in the app department. In the gym design business, we have a thriving, burgeoning gym design business, meaning I've always done it residentially. I've helped people, whether it was acquire a treadmill or piece together 6 or 7 things for a gym or do someone's home gym, soup to nuts. Now we're doing more commercial stuff. We're doing some stuff internationally. Wow. We did a hotel here locally. We have 2 more hotels nationally, and we'll see where we go with that.
Very good, very good. Well, there's a lot to look forward to. So I'm so appreciative of your time. I know you're very busy and you got to run to another meeting, but thank you so much. This was truly an honor to get to know you.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys made the time for me, and I hope people get something out of this and see that there is a way to do it, and it's not this just big, ominous black cloud of fitness hanging over that. It's, you know, get after it, and before you know it, the rewards you reap from this translate into every aspect of your life. Every single thing you do inside the gym helps everything you do outside the gym.
I love that. So how can people stay in touch with you? How can they follow your future?
GunnarPeterson.com is a website, and we put stuff up there as it comes out. If we think it's worthy of other people reading it, we'll post, repost. Okay. Gunnar Fitness on Instagram, I try to put stuff up there. I had a lady stop me the other day, not for my fitness. She said, your quotes are so inspirational. I go, really? I usually write those on the window when I get off the bike in the morning.
I know, I love them. I took a whole bunch of pictures
there
of
you
your
go.
quotes all over. So these are all yours?
Most of them. If they're not, I do credit them. I think you have to give credit to, I think I have one from a trainer in Philly, maybe a trainer in Boston over there, and I have one from Benjamin Franklin, so that works out nicely.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Winnie, very much. I appreciate it.